heard that one. Oh, there, Elvis is here. Thank you very much. I'm going to call on you in a minute, Michelle. Wanted to call forward Marie Olson, who will open us in prayer, please. Those of you who choose to stand, please rise.
Our Heavenly Father, bless this gathering today. Guide and lead all of us to say and to do the right thing, and make decisions based on honesty, truth, and love. Bless the people here, and bless the leaders that prepared the conference. This prayer I ask in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Thank you, Marie, and I apologize for the extra crackling on this microphone. My name is Jerry Hope, and on behalf of the Conference of Tlingit Tribes and Clans Organizing Committee, I welcome you to what is nicknamed the Clan Conference here in Juneau. Wanted to start off after the prayer here with some welcomes. This was actually a continuation from last night. Wanted to say, I'll say more about this in my comments, that the warming of the hands last night was very, very well done. It was very appreciated by the organizing committee and the attendees, I'm sure, of the Clan Conference. I wanted to call forward from Aquan, Bob Sam, and Mike Tagaman to give a welcome on behalf of the local clans. Please give them a warm welcome.
Do you know anything about the soundboard? Yes,
Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Before I start, I would like to ask for a moment of silence for someone who passed away recently, Walter Porter. He's a very fine man. So I'd like to please ask for a moment of silence for him. Ganeshish. Shagamastаю hattu asal. Punnedi ayachat. Kalkwan tan yadi. Dachlawadi dachkam. Hakwan ayachat. My Tlingit name is Shagunasta. I am a Raven Dog Salmon clan. I am a child of a wolf and grandchild of a killer whale. We welcome you to our homeland of the Aquan. And welcome you to Juneau. The fires are lit, and there is much for us to learn here. I am always a student, and I'm very honored to open up this morning on behalf of the Aquan and Flynn. My brother here, the Wushkitung, I will now turn it over to him. And
There is so much that I have been having to learn over the most recent years, 10 or 15. And the one thing I need to continue working on is learning how to introduce myself in Tlingit. I am the grandchild and child of the Potawatomi Cree from my father's side. I don't know too much about them. We're still doing research, but I know they were of the Bear House in Upper Michigan. My Tlingit name is Yanishtok. That's from my great Uncle George Jim in Angoon. And I have to be so very careful with what I say so that I don't ever cause any disrespect to come on that name of my uncle. And I love him very much. And as I look out over your faces, to know that you are on our land really warms my heart. To gather here to learn more about our culture, our language, our ways of walking through this world and leaving gentle footprints. To have you here and to be able to address you is an honor to me and very humbling. Konishish.
To give a welcome from the Douglas Indian Association, the Gold Belt Corporation, the United States of America, the state of Alaska, and Russia. No, just teasing on those. I was talking to Andrea Cadiente Lighty about the list of welcomes. And we started off with 2, and then it increased in number. But on behalf of Douglas Indian Association and Gold Belt, please welcome Andrea Cadiente Lighty.
Thank you, Jerry, for that warm welcome. And good morning, all of you, and welcome to Juneau and Douglas. My name is Andrea Cadiente Lighty. My Tlingit name is Katsandu'u. I'm Eagle Takeaway of the Shawnee Pit for Brown Bear House in Angoon. I would like to acknowledge my mother and sister out in the audience, and I think my daughter might be out there as well, but Irene Cadiente, Barbara Cadiente Nelson. I'm grateful that I come from a family of educators. Oh, there's Ronalda. I saw my sister, one of the lead educators in our family. And so I'm just really ever so happy to see the fruits of the labor of generations before this generation come to fruition. As Jerry said, I'm representing both the Douglas Indian Association and the Gold Belt Heritage Institute. Actually, my daughter prefers to call it Gold Belt Heritage Foundation, so there's no mix-up. But the Douglas Indian Association, I feel compelled to give you a little more information about that. The Douglas Indian Association, probably there's a misnomer that it's just a tiny little tribe that only encompasses the territory of Douglas Island. And nothing can be further from the truth, because we all know as a Southeast seafaring people that the traditional territory of our clans expand far beyond the land base. But we use our waterways for our natural resources and to take care of our clans and our families. And so the Douglas Indian Association, its tribal membership, its basal membership is actually that of the Okwan and the Takukwan. So our membership are primarily descendants of both Kwans. And several of our members, we have a 9-member council, and at least half of the council are young Yedi of the Takukwan and grandchildren of the Okwan. So I really feel it's very important to say that it is the historically, federally recognized tribe of the Juneau Douglas area. We've been pleased to work in partnership with Gold Belt Heritage Foundation, and I serve as the president on a board of 7, and I acknowledge Bill Martin out in the audience. He's a member of our board of directors, and I know he's been very involved in the language activities. And we have watched Gold Belt Heritage Foundation grow with wonderful cultural specialists like David Katzik, Paul Marks, Fred White, and I know there are many more of you out there. I apologize if I'm unable to call on you. My vision isn't what it was from years back. And so, but I do want to say this. One thing that the Douglas Indian Association has done in partnership with Gold Belt Heritage is that our support of the Path to Excellence Academy and their segue into the school district and providing Native cultural programs and contributing to the Kalinka Culture, Language, and Literacy program, which some of the specialists I mentioned have worked so hard. Some of our elders have gone into the schools. Selena Everson, who I know is in the audience, is one. Lillian Austin, my mother Irene Cadiente. And the wonderful thing that I've seen happen is our elders show no reluctance when they're called to the table to share their wealth of knowledge. One of the things we did is we did the Path to Excellence Academy, and an activity for our students, and the enrollment is anywhere between 38 to 44 students from 8th grade to senior year. And the grant just ended, but it was a 4-year thing. And, I know that you might think I'm going pretty long for a welcome, but I just want to kind of familiarize you with our region. We took those students, Gold Belt Heritage Foundation, and the Douglas Indian Association up to Berners Bay so they could walk on the land, walk on the shores, visit the petroglyphs, and hear the history, the rich history of the Okwan. And we took them to Taku Inlet so they could visit and hear some of the migration histories of the Takukwan and the area in which the Takukwan fished and made a living before their Douglas Indian village was burned. And it was just a wonderful experience. I myself am married to a young AD. He's a lifelong fisherman of the Takukwan. And one of the stories he told me while he'd be out there setting his gear and watching sunsets is, he said, "I'm the luckiest person in the world to be able to see the pristine waters and the landscape and the skylines of the Taku Inlet and of Berners Bay." And one of the things that was so heartening to me in watching our students dance, he actually was out there during Gillnet opening, and he brought his vessel up to the catamaran that we were on. Kind of a shy, elusive fisherman, though, in some respects, and he didn't realize that our Path to Excellence Academy students started honoring him with a song. And so they started drumming, singing, and dancing to honor the ancestry there of the Taku Inlet. when we completed the song and there were killer whales that were going alongside the vessel too, as though they were responding to the drums, I heard one young woman say, "I'm the luckiest person in the world." And it just totally reverberated of my husband, a young lady, his feelings of being able to still be out there in harvest for his family, his friends, and his community. And whether it's harvesting of fish or collecting all the seeds that were protected so fiercely by our elders with their language so that we could learn and bring it into the schools, all of that contributes to what we're seeing here today. I recall saying on the vessel that everyone on board this vessel has something to share and something to contribute to make sure that we protect for generations to come our language and our history and our clan relationships. So I welcome all of you and I wish you great success for this conference here today and the coming together of the clans. Because when I was a young girl, I see a lot of you out there, I never thought I'd be at the point where I said, when I was a young girl, oh my gosh. But when I was a young girl in this school district, we could only dream about what's happening today in the schools and today here at the Centennial Building. So welcome to Juneau and Douglas, the homelands of both the Yakwan and the Takuquan. Gunachish.
Thank you, Andrea. I'd like to call forward Ishmael Hope to assist me before I give my welcome. And then also Leanne Hinton, if you would be so kind to move up to the table here and we'll get started after I give the welcome. I thought I would like to give a little bit of proper acknowledgement of my brother, Andrew Hope III, while I give my welcome comments. It was Andrew Hope III, as we knew Andy's vision, that he worked to establish the Clan Conference. And you might recall in 2009, when we brought Gil Truitt up to give the first honor dinner of Andy at the Clan Conference here in Juneau then, after he had passed in 2008. And in the spring during gold medal 2009, we thought we would challenge the notion, and this was born by Andy's words back even in the 1980s, that you can't have anything else in town when gold medal is going on because no one else will show up. And in the spirit of Andy's lifelong challenge of us as individuals to strive further, to go push ourselves beyond the normal thinking, that we went ahead and held the Clan Conference during gold medal, and people showed up here. This was Andy's best. And Ishmael, his son, his youngest, he has 4 children. Christopher, Tilly, Andy 4, and Ishmael here is the youngest. That's in their born sequential order. That he is Kiksadi, the raven side. So it's appropriate for the Kiksadi child, and he's a child of the Kiksadi. to place this on me. And for the welcome, I invoke Brother Andy's spirit.
Stulug ayah isani ish patgeok ka duk sa kudeshke du ish. Kastin kue itu sagun Katsu Pakastin, just saying that this wasn't me that's putting this on my uncle. It's his father, John Hope. It's his uncle, Stu Nuke. It's Margaret Hope McVeigh. It's Carol Brady's father, Ray James. And it is great auntie Ellen Hope Hayes.
Kurashish, Ishmael Kurashish. I called on him to go ahead and stand with me while I give the welcome on behalf of the organizing committee as well. I know that the spirit of his father, my brother, lives strongly in him as well as his other three siblings. And so I wanted to not only have Brother Andy's vest here through his spirit, but also through his son, representing the other three siblings. Wanted to thank the organizing committee, and I would like to name them for all of their work. Basically, it's volunteer. And these people are a real representation of the talent eye that Brother Andy had to try and pull something like this together, especially through primarily volunteerism. Dion Caliente Laiti, do you want to wave? As I give you your name, go ahead and wave. Richard Downhauer, Nora Downhauer, Marks Downhauer, excuse me. Steve Hendrickson, I believe, is working. We tried to arrange very strongly with his employer, but just teasing. Marsha Hodge, thank you, Marsha. Ishmael. Harold Jacobs. Sergey Khan, thank you, Sergey. Peter Metcalf, thank you, Peter. Lance Twitchell, thank you, Lance. We have an event coordinator who was not able to be here due to circumstances. And we are strongly behind her. Kathy Colehorst Ruddy. And then the interim event coordinator is Alice Tapp. Thank you, Alice. Please give these people a little welcome. And Peter keeps me on task sometimes, and so I have to make some announcements now and then. If you have a beige Subaru Forester, license plate GNX658, you're illegally parked in front of the JACC, Juneau Arts Community Council, is that it? And if you don't move the car, we'll raffle it off. Oh yeah, thank you, Ishmael. And cell phones, please put them on vibrate or turn them off, please. And there's a couple of other acknowledgements. I wanted to acknowledge the volunteers outside of the organizing committee who have helped out. Central Council of Clinton-Haida Indian Tribes of Alaska have provided the opportunity for some staff to take their time to personal leave to help with registration. So we'd like to thank Central Council for working with us on the registration and other parts of volunteerism to make this a successful conference. And then the University of Alaska Southeast through Lance Twitchell have provided some volunteer students to help with videography, so we really do appreciate that. Thank you, Lance. Give them a round of applause, please. And we have a number of other acknowledgements that we'll give throughout the clan conference, and so as we become aware of volunteers or those organizations or businesses that need recognition, please bring it to either any of the organizing committee members' attention or myself. We'd be glad to give the appropriate acknowledgement. And I did want to say there is a legislative dignitary in the room, one that I know of anyway. Jonathan Christ Duncan's in the back there. Would you please give a wave? Give him a round of applause. We'll be requesting some money in the future, Jonathan, so that applause, I hope, gets some mileage. And your mom is in the room, wanted to make sure to recognize your mom. Doctor, please wave. And David will be recognizing you during your presentation, his brother. I wanted to also bring forward the conference theme. Our language is our way of life. In particular, I wanted to say thank you to Marcia Hotch, because when we finished up the clan conference in 2012 in Sitka, I asked the question, because we were off 1 year in our cycle, do we have the energy to stand down, retool, and get the conference going again in 1 year? And Marcia said, our language is in survival mode. I'm paraphrasing Marcia. And she said, we need to address language, and we have elders that we need to keep as a resource. And it is critical that we have it in 1 year. And so rather than have it, because it was by previous action, the organizing committee wanted to have this on the off year of celebration, and the celebration is on the even year. So then that meant that we would not have it till 2015 if we did not have it this year. And it's a lot to ask the organizing committee to volunteer their time. We have many teleconferences, and there's a lot of effort that goes into it. And so that's why I had to ask, can we stand down and retool and get back up and going in 1 year? But thank you, Marcia, for challenging us, because you were right. And the theme reflects your challenge to us. And so language is our way of life. Sheesh, Marcia, please give her a thank you. And as it was with Representative Tompkins, Christ Tompkins, because we gave you applause, we're going to ask more of you now. We have a lot to do between now and Sunday. And so I wanted to keep my welcoming remarks very brief, and that brings the highlight to them. And so with that, I wanted to transition into someone who is very special. Oh, thank you, Ishmael, for being here. Probably thought he was going to have another speech, of which it would be fine if he did. He's a good speaker.